What's up, Stav, eldest, esteemed guest?
You throw something.
So, what's up, Stav, eldest,
the anger.
esteemed guest? So, a little context before I get into the meat of this situation. But essentially, me and my college buddies, it's been a couple years since we graduated, kind of went our own ways, drifted apart a little bit, live in different cities, until my one friend started inviting us to his family gatherings, his beach house, and stuff like that.
Okay.
And so, give us a good little opportunity to all touch base with each other, hang out, reconnect, all that good stuff. And it's been really fun and great. The thing is, we're 26, and me and his older sister kind of have had a little bit of a romantic vibe when we are all hanging out. Nothing's happened. No lines have been crossed or anything. But
lines have been crossed.
Now we've become friends and family friends and whatnot. We're texting, and there's certainly like flirtation going on, and we live, about 2.5, 3 hours away from each other. And she has a friend in my city, and she texted me like, "Hey, if I come visit my friend, we should hang out." And I'm open to it, but I don't want to cross any lines with my friend.
Why though?
So I'm kind of just looking for guidance on how to navigate this situation without, damaging my relationship with my friend, being respectful to his sister. Is it okay to pursue a potential romantic connection, or should I just kind of,
You think you're just never allowed to fuck anybody your friend is related to because he invited you to your
thanks
beach
for any
house,
advice you can give me.
house?
Appreciate it. Love you, Stav. Later.
Well, don't spit in her mouth.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
unless she, yeah. Unless she insists. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of an interesting. I get. Well, first of all, how bad is he blowing it? Where she's like, "Hey, if I were to come visit, maybe we could hang out." Like, she's clearly wants to fuck this guy, and she has to
I have this
contrive
problem. My
a
pussy
visit.
just is wet all the time.
She has to be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna visit." Yeah, but which I get also. That's a clean like. If things go bad, I have a friend to hang out with, whatever. But, like, dude, you're 26. This is not, like, this is a problem when you're, like, in high school or, like, it's also not necessarily ever a problem.
It depends on how close. I feel like, I don't know. Like, I've gotten, like I've had a thing where my sister was hooking up with my best friend, but I probably reacted. I was a little bit too weirded out by it.
Yeah.
And
well, how old were you?
I probably it was recently.
But you were fucked up.
I gotta say, but
pre-rehab.
I'm fucked up. I gotta say, no, this was like years ago. But I gotta say, like, I was wrong. I should have been
right.
Well, in hindsight, I should have been more accepting with that. So
yes.
I think that I think it's fine. I think
so
if it's
too.
your mom, it's probably weird.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But even then, if it was my mom, I'd probably be happy. I'd be
At
like,
this point,
get her out.
Yeah.
Well, not now.
Yeah. Some guy's got his dick on a Ouija board. Oh, Dan!
This is the worst Are You Afraid of the Dark episode
ever. Yeah, I mean, I think that's because you realize, like, it was, certainly it can be a problem if someone has, like, a bunch of shit and a bunch of resentment and just, like, if you weren't in a good place anyway. But I think if you, like, at 26, you're close to your friend. Like, to me, this is also in a perfect world, this is great. Your best friend marries your sister. It's like you're literally
if it works
family.
out, it's great.
It's it's like
if it works out, it's great.
But and 26 is like, it depends what you want. Are you just trying to fuck a sister, treat her poorly, and never, speak to her again? Because that's obviously the bad thing. But if you're going into this with real intentions, and I would also say, because it's your best friend's sister, you do want to probably even be a level more respectful than you would, right? Like, don't try any weird shit. Be really open about your communication shit, but not to the point where you're, like, blowing the vibes. You know what I mean? Because no one... But
you
like,
still want her to fuck you.
Yeah, you still want her to want to fuck you. But dude, you're at the age where it's like this could I'm not gonna put any pressure on you here, but 26, you're at the age where it could be something serious. Like if this was 20 or 21 or whatever, maybe that's different. But this is not a problem, I don't think, at all. This is, I mean, maybe talk to your brother or your friend. Maybe.
I'm also realizing from this answer that you've definitely fucked some of your friends' sisters.
I never have. No one has like sisters my age.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I I've definitely thought in the past, just like when I was young, I was like, oh, what if this person ended up with this? It would just make my life. There's certain, like, I have a friend right now who he's dating someone, and he's like, oh, what if like my friend started dating my girl's sibling? Like that would be, then we could all hang out. Like it's just like I actually think this is a good setup.
No, it's true, and it does because as you get older, I'm married, and sometimes you're just like grandfathered into these hangs you didn't want to be a part of.
Like imagine if your wife, if she had a sister married to like Soder or something, or like, or just like somebody you like seeing.
By the way, so everybody's in love with Soder. Soder's like everybody like has a crush on Soder.
yeah. Well, he's happily taken. He's got one of the cutest relationships.
Yeah, for sure.
They're great. But anyway, I just like, so I don't know. Eldest, we're on the same page, I would assume here, right? Or do you have a different take here?
I could see the friend being uncomfortable with it, and it's kind of weird to navigate. I think it's complicated because like this guy is going to like the guy's family's beach house, which is like a very intimate like invitation, but it also sounds like he's not like super close with the guy. I feel like it'd almost be easier to like discuss or bring up if they were like closer, but part of me is like, hey.
To me, I read the beach house thing differently though. I read it as like we were really close when we were younger, and we want a way to stay connected because you're important to me. So I see what you're saying. It could. I guess what it really boils down to is
the problem is like it's weird to be like, hey dude, your sister's gonna be in town. I'm kind of interested. We're kind of flirting. Do you give a fuck if anything happens? It's just like presumptive to even ask your friend that like before the fact or something,
But at the same time, I mean, come on. She's coming to, they're going to hang out. Like, I guess maybe after the first hangout. But even then, it's like, how close are they?
The thing is, it's probably going to happen.
Yeah.
In the first, because this isn't a first hangout.
Right. You're right. They've known each other.
This is not a first hangout.
Yeah, he knows what's up. I guess what it boils down to for me is only pursue this if you're actually serious about it. That's really what it boils down to.
I think that's very true.
Because it's like even if you're like, I'm trying to don't look at it as a potential like, oh, if we hook up for 6 months, and I just softly ghost her, who cares? No, like you have to actually because of your friendship, like you just want to actually give this a little, make this. It's like the difference between when you're on trial for civil versus like OJ was found innocent. Because there's a lax standard of proof. There's a lower standard of proof in like criminal court, right? You have to prove beyond the reasonable doubt. Whereas like civil court, it's like, is it more likely than not? So you have to apply.
He did a terrible job at that civil court.
Yeah,
His personality really shone through.
Yeah.
He should have shown up as Naked Gun OJ, and he showed up as Heisman OJ.
Yeah. He thought he was untouchable.
Yeah.
So basically, it has to be beyond the reasonable doubt. It's criminal rules. It's harder to prove here. So it's like, do you really want to take this seriously? And then in terms of telling your friend, I mean, if you think there's real vibes, you can check the temperature a little bit. I also think, is this guy a fucking idiot? He doesn't know that there's some vibe going on at the beach house. He hasn't picked up on anything. And here's another conspiracy theory. Not a conspiracy, but like, we're only talking the negatives. Mm-hmm. The positives could be, like, your friend could also be stoked in theory. Like, if things are good, like, it could be cool to him that you could be, dating his sister. I don't know. But I do think only do it if you're serious. And then what's the verdict on should he talk to his friend about it beforehand?
I kind of think just going on the reasonable doubt thing. Hey, if she comes out to your town for a weekend, hang out, feel the vibes that way. If anything happens or if you really catch us.
Well, I might be on Eldest's side here.
Probably, but you don't know. I think he can wait to tell the friend before.
It's true. It's a little.
Has
You should at least hang out once in a context, just you and the sister, just to feel the vibes out, because you do have the reasonable. Now we're back to being a bit of a scumbag, but as long as you have the right intentions, you can be like, I hung out. She came over. We hung out. I'm catching kind of a vibe. How does that make you feel?
Tell him mid-fuck.
While FaceTime him. FaceTime him with your cock in his...
You text like, hey, dude, your sister's over here. My cock's right on the outside of her pussy.
It's crazy. It's like a metal detector on a beach. Speaking of beach houses.
Can I put it in, bro? Or are you going to be weird about this? She's like, what are you doing? You're like, shut up, bitch.
That was such an accurate pantomime of a dick.
Yeah, the dick rub. Little dick rub never hurt nobody.